Please adhere to YouTube's selected guidelines before viewing the content of this video. I do not encourage or condone any products, actions, or behaviors shown in this video. All videos are produced in a safe, professional, and controlled environment. Please do not attempt to replicate any actions performed during video. All actions are performed by professionals.
Alrighty, so today I'm going to be reviewing the Sharpie S-Gel Gel Pen in 0.7 millimeter size, which honestly I am very excited to give you guys a review of because this is a pen that I've never used before. But it is indeed my mom's personal favorite pen, and I like to think that she has pretty good taste in pens. So as such, I certainly am very excited to, well, try using this pen for the first time and to find out whether it's a pen that I like as well. You know what I'm saying? Overall, though, I am pretty excited to give this pen a review, as I'm sure you guys can tell. But I do think without further ado, it is now time for me to go ahead and hop into the packaging of, well, the Sharpie S-Gel Gel Pens in 0.7 millimeter size. After I go over the packaging, I'm going to go ahead and get one of these pens out right here, go ahead and let you guys know what the quality of the pens is like, what they look like, and how they are ergonomically and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and, well, start writing with one of the Sharpie S-Gel Gel Pens in 0.7 millimeter size on a piece of paper, and go ahead and let you guys know if they're actually good for writing, drawing, etc. with at all, you know what I'm saying? I do think without further ado though, let's go ahead and start going over the packaging, which I will admit right off the bat is certainly not bad by any means, you know what I'm saying? Certainly not bad by any means. Certainly decently eye-catching, that is for sure. I know when these first got put on the shelf a couple years ago, I actually saw them very quickly kind of thing. I think they were on the shelf for probably a week. I just went to go look at pens just for fun, and I was like, these are new kind of thing. And the packaging, honestly, is very distinct, which makes sense. The packaging is certainly very eye-catching, that is for sure. And of course, that's going to be a goal of these pens because, well, it literally says right here, new, in yellow, in a black text and everything like that kind of thing. It literally says that these pens right here are new, so of course they want to make sure the packaging is pretty distinct, you know what I'm saying? We can see, though, that the overall background for the design is just this sort of red background right here, which is just sort of like a hexagonal sort of like beehive texture. I definitely have to say, you know what I'm saying? We can see that sort of hexagonal beehive texture like that. And then we just see some white right here, some black right here, and some white down here, everything like that with a black line going through. But overall, the main look for this packaging is definitely that red with the sort of hexagonal texture and everything like that kind of thing. We can see some black numbers up here. It just says 2096134. I don't know what that means, but I assume that's probably the package number or something like that kind of thing. And then in a white text right here, we can just see it just says Sharpie right there in the typical Sharpie font. No complaints on my behalf. It just looks like the normal Sharpie font and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And we can just see the hanger hole right here, and we can just see that it just says that, of course, this logo is indeed copyrighted right here, and then it just says Sharpie, and then it just says pen right there in like Times New Roman or something like that kind of thing. It looks like Times New Roman to me. I'm not exactly sure what font that actually is, though, but it looks like Times New Roman, that is for sure, you know what I'm saying? We can see it just kind of transfers to white right here on everything like that kind of thing. It looks like a white, I definitely have to say, like a white ruler or like paint mixing stick or something like that kind of thing. We can see in red, unlike, well, the Sharpie up here kind of thing, this is basically the colors are reversed and everything like that. It just says S-Gel, with the S being the standard sort of Sharpie S and everything like that kind of thing, but then the gel being just a very much sort of trebuchet-like font, I definitely have to say, and then that is trademarked as well, so S-Gel is indeed trademarked. There's a dot right here as well, you know what I'm saying? And then below the S-Gel right here, we can just see it just sort of goes to like a black diamond right there with a white bar in between, and it just says no smear, no bleed technology, and then there's a red line, always vivid writing, black ink, medium, 0.7 millimeter font. So I do want to say that they also make one in a 1.0 millimeter font or a 1.0 millimeter font, and then they also make one in a 0.5 millimeter font. So yes, the 0.7 is indeed the medium. I do suppose I don't really consider 0.7 millimeter to be a medium. I will admit I'd consider 0.5 to be more of a medium, but either way, I do suppose if that's the only three they make and this is the one in the middle, then it's going to be a medium, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all there is right there. There is indeed a little bit of shading under this right here. I definitely have to say there's a little bit of shading, making it look like it's actually placed over the red right here, which is pretty cool, I will admit. And then we can just see that the bottom right here is just all in white. It just says 4 pens right there in sort of a black text and everything like that. And then we can just see a black line going all the way over here and everything like that kind of thing, with the black line having some sort of shading that fades and everything like that kind of thing above it, which makes it look like it's placed above the red look and everything like that. That is for sure, you know what I'm saying? Taking a look on this side, we can just see there's a little bit of like a white with a, there's a little bit of like a white U shape right there with black going all the way around it, and then the black text on it just says comfort grip, and then we just have a nice little hole right here that we can just feel the comfort grip through and everything like that kind of thing. I can't really tell if it's comfortable through the packaging, but either way, pretty nice nonetheless, and that's pretty much all there is to the front of the packaging. Definitely pretty distinct from a distance. You can definitely see the Sharpie fonts and everything like that kind of thing from a distance, which is pretty cool, I will admit, and it definitely is pretty distinct on the shelf. It definitely draws your eye to it, that is for sure. And overall, I definitely do think that this is pretty good packaging for a pack of pens, that is for sure. Taking a look at the back of the packaging, though, we can just see they really cheaped out. It's all in black and white and everything like that kind of thing. We can just see it just says contents for black gel pen, 0.7 millimeter. Just says Sharpie pen right there and everything like that. S gel on this little sort of black insert right here and everything like that kind of thing. And then it just says experience a high performance pen, with experience and performance being in bold, because that's how you know you've got a high performance pen and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Then under that, it just says contoured rubber grip for a comfortable writing experience. Always vivid writing with intensely bold ink colors. No smear, no bleed technology for an exceptional writing experience. I doubt that. A lot of gel pens still do bleed. I'll be testing that to the greatest extent when I start actually writing with this and everything like that kind of thing. It just says product contains a wax tip to prevent damage during shipping. Please remove prior to use. Makes sense. Otherwise, the pen isn't going to work, you know what I'm saying? And then we could just see we have an example of the pen right here and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? Just says S-Gel up there, Sharpie right there, and then just has the nice contour grip right there and everything like that kind of thing. But I'll be getting to that once I actually get the pen out and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? And overall, the background of all of this right here and everything like that kind of thing is just that same sort of, I definitely have to say, hexagonal, almost beehive sort of pattern like we get on the fronts and everything like that kind of thing with this red, except it's all in just black and white right here and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? We could just see it just says right here that this is available in 3-point sizes. It's available in fine, which is 0.5 millimeter. I don't consider that to be fine, though. I will admit 0.14 millimeter. Now that's fine. Fine enough to cut the paper with your pen. And yes, those pens are gas. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Medium, it says, is 0.7 millimeter, which makes sense because it says medium on the front. And then bold is 1.0 millimeter, which I will admit, I am a fan of bold pens, but they do tend to smear quite a bit, that is for sure. So if this doesn't smear at all, then I might honestly have to pick up some 1.0s because I actually like 1.0 size pens. I know that can be controversial. I am a my personal favorite size pen is 0.7 millimeter, which is why I've got this one right here and everything like that kind of thing. But for drawing and everything like that kind of thing, not for writing. I think for writing 0.1 millimeter or 1.0 millimeter is just too big. I can't do it kind of thing. I already write sloppy. It just makes it look even worse. But for drawing, I really do like the bolder size for gel pens and everything like that kind of thing. It is really, really, really nice, I will admit. It just says the same number that we saw on the front of the packaging, 209. Oh, nope, it's not the same number. It is a different number. It says 2099835 right there, you know what I'm saying? And then it just says assembled in USA, copyright 2020, Newell Office Brands, product of Newell Office Brands, 6655 Peachtree, Dunwoody Road, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30328. And then it just has the barcode right here. It just says Newell right there. And it just says, we would love to hear from you, www.sharpie.com. Honestly, I didn't even realize that Sharpie was owned by Newell. I've never realized that before. Good to know, you know what I'm saying? Good to know. We can just see there's a line going over like that with a little bit of shading going around it and everything like that kind of thing, making it just look like it's above the rest of the packaging and everything like that kind of thing. And then this is all white. And I do really like how the pen just goes all the way over and then it's just sitting on here. And the pen itself actually does have shading that goes like that, which gives it a very, very nice 3D look, that is for sure. Overall, I definitely do think they cheaped out on the back of the packaging, but it's very functional packaging and everything like that kind of thing. So I certainly cannot complain. And overall, I think the packaging, the front of it is very distinct. The back of it tells you everything you need to know and everything like that kind of thing. It gives you a lot of selling points. I really do like how this packaging looks as a whole, and overall I think it is overall a pretty good look, that is for sure, you know what I'm saying? Without further ado though, I think I've pretty much said everything I want to say about the packaging. As I'm sure you guys can tell, I'm a decently big fan of the packaging. I certainly don't think it's pretty by any means, that is for sure. Certainly not pretty by any means, but I definitely don't think it's bad packaging. Certainly don't think it's bad packaging, and overall it definitely catches your eye. It definitely catches your eye, that is for sure. And it certainly is functional packaging, as in where it tells as in that it tells you everything you need to know about the pens and everything like that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get all of this off just like this and everything like that kind of. Put that in my backpack. Try this again. Okay, maybe I'm trying to rip it. Okay, I think I'm supposed to rip it with this little piece back here. There we go. I think that might have been the issue. Okay, okie dokie. That made it a lot easier. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna get one of these out. There we go. Got it out. The overall weight of this pen is, it's very light. This pen is very, very, very light, that is for sure. It's very much plasticky right here. This is just metallic plastic and everything like that kind of thing. That's all that is. It's pretty, it's okay quality kind of thing. I can definitely see the snapping if like you're just playing with it kind of thing and everything like that kind of thing. But it's a plastic pen. This grip and everything like that kind of thing, decently ergonomic, that is for sure. I definitely do think that is a nice little grip. Taking this piece off, does this all? Yeah, this all comes off and everything like that kind of thing. See? So the spring is indeed integrated with the insert and everything like that kind of thing. So this is not a replaceable insert because the spring is indeed integrated with it, unless they sell inserts with the spring already integrated in it, but I doubt that. So this is not really a replaceable pen. They have this just so you can take it out and everything like that kind of thing. But unless you actually bring another spring and everything like that kind of thing, this is not going to be replaceable unless you get this off. I'm not actually, let's see, how is that actually put on? I think it's put on with the clip or two. You could definitely get that off if you really wanted to try to, but yeah, definitely one of those things that this is not really very replaceable and everything like that kind of thing. Definitely some complaints on my behalf. I personally like the Pencil G2 because the inserts are so replaceable and everything like that kind of thing. They literally encourage you to replace the inserts, and I really, really, really do just like that. I will be completely honest with y'all. The overall look of the pen, though, is certainly not bad. It's black right here. The contour, sort of whatever they want to call it kind of thing, the grip is black as well kind of thing. Then we can just see a silver line right there, and then in silver it just says Sharpie in the classic Sharpie font, and then on the sort of a coat thing and everything like that kind of thing, it just says S-Gel right there with the S looking exactly the same as it does on the packaging. It's just the normal Sharpie S, and then right here it just says 0.7 millimeter font in, well, or it's just 0.7 millimeter in just silver as well kind of thing. And then we can just see the tip, the actual pressy downy thing or whatever you want to call it kind of thing, is in silver as well. That is for sure. Overall, it tries to look really cool. This is not a bad looking pen. The pen looks pretty cool kind of thing. It's black. The finish on the black is really nice. It almost looks like metal. And then you pick it up and you're like, oh man, this is really light and cheap, and it's not a lot of rattling. Not a lot of rattling. That's good, but definitely plastic. Definitely plastic. The texture of this, one of my main complaints, I don't really, these are okay. I don't mind it. I like it on the Pencil G, or not on the Pencil. I like it on the, who makes the G2? Is it Pencil? Pilot G2. I really like these on the Pilot G2 and everything like that kind of thing, but they're not sticky. This is a little bit sticky. Could just be due to the age and everything like that kind of thing. These are a little bit old. I will admit I had these sitting around for quite a while, but it is a little bit sticky, but overall, I definitely do think it's better than not. That is for sure. Definitely, certainly pretty comfy. And the pen is just overall very, very, very light. I personally prefer pens that are heavier, but this is indeed a disposable pen that is obviously meant to be disposable because, well, you can't get the spring off of the damn insert and everything like that kind of thing. So this pen is meant to be disposable. If it wasn't meant to be disposable, the spring would be on the inside of the cap right here. So some complaints on my behalf, that is for sure, but it certainly is what it is. That is for sure as well. But yeah, overall, it's a plastic disposable pen. It's not the highest quality thing in the world. I can't remember what I paid. I think I paid like $6 or $7, something like that kind of thing. So per pen, that's like $1.50, $2, something like that kind of thing. I got 4 pens, so that's like, yeah, a little bit under $2 a pen. Well, that's not terrible. As long as they work, it's worth it kind of thing. But yeah, right off the bat, I wouldn't buy these again. Maybe the writing will be really all that great kind of thing, but I'm just really not all that impressed by. I mean, like, the pen, it looks decent. The pen actually itself looks pretty good, I will admit. But when you pick it up, it's just kind of like, oh, it just feels cheap. It just feels cheap. It's just not very good. I will admit, though, one thing I do like about this pen, and one thing I do have some complaints about some pens, is that when you press down, it's like you're pressing down nothing kind of. This actually, you have to use some force. It actually feels like you're doing something. It feels satisfying. So it's very nice to just click over and over and over again, you know what I'm saying? So certainly no complaints on my behalf. Overall, though, I'm not really very impressed with the build quality. This certainly isn't bad. I'm not going to diss the build quality. I'm just not impressed with the actual materials used. I don't think it's going to fall apart on you, certainly. But I'm just not particularly impressed with the materials used. It just feels like cheap plastic that's meant to look like metal. Looks really good in packaging. Looks really good in packaging. Hey, it looks great in the packaging and everything like that kind of thing. But when you actually get it out, it's meh. Not a big fan. It looks like what they try to do is they tried to make, I'm trying to think of it. I own one of these, and I don't know if they make it anymore. It's a metal version of the Pilot G2. It's not the Pilot Metropolitan, which is like their fountain pen-esque thing. I own that as well, which is really, really nice, and I really do like it. I need to get myself another one so I can actually carry it with me without worrying about losing it, because then I don't have, because they discontinued them. I need to get myself another one, but I definitely have to say, it feels like, what is it? It's not the Pilot Metropolitan. They make a metal version of the G2, which I own one of, and it's a great pen. I really do like it. I think that's literally what it's called. It's literally just called the Metal G2. And I really, really, really like it. It's actual metal, really heavy, really nice quality, really good stuff. It's one of the reasons why I really like Pilot and why Pilot is my favorite pen brand as a whole. Pen as in like gel pen and everything like that kind of thing. I have other picks for felt tip pens and everything like that. But overall, I'm just not impressed. And it looks like they tried to make this look like a Metal G2 or something like that kind of thing. But pick it up, it just does not feel like very nice quality, I will admit. But that's just my personal opinion, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go ahead and get my notebook right here, all opened up to a page. So now I can go ahead and test how well this pen actually works and everything like that, you know what I'm saying? So I just flipped it over to a page and everything like that. I'm gonna go ahead and get this little tip off. Oh wait, oh, we can draw like, oh yeah, that's, oh wait, no, I've got the tip on. Okay, I've got to go ahead and get that off, right? Let's see if I can get that off. Oh, it's actually not wanting to come off. Come on, there we go. All right, came off. I'm gonna go put that in my backpack so I don't litter or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? And it's still on there. There's still a little bit of gunk on there. Let's go and get that piece off as well. Ooh, that piece did not want to come off, I will admit. But once it's off, you never have to worry about it again. Come on. There we go. Okay, you know what? Good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and start writing. So here's the first little bit of writing with this pen. Okay, I'm impressed. I'm actually mildly impressed. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna keep writing just for a minute. Oh, okay, all right, I'm not so impressed. The G2 would have done that fine. The G2 would have done that fine. Yeah, G2 is my standard. Okay, and then it's back. But definitely, if you just keep going like that kind of thing, it will definitely fade out, I'm thinking. Let's try that again. Maybe it was just a fluke. Okay, it's pretty consistent now. I'm just trying to burn it till it's dead. Trying to burn it till it's dead right now. And it's not working. That seems like it was a fluke, but I'm gonna keep going nonetheless. Oh, and I just stopped myself by accident. Okay, well, okay, that was a fluke, I will admit. So, that's not bad. That is not bad at all. Filled up a decent amount of the page and everything like that kind of thing. Certainly no complaints on my behalf. Yeah, that's really not bad at all. It's definitely, yeah, it's definitely black kind of thing. It definitely looks like a gel pen. It's definitely not a pure black, that is for sure. Not a pure black like, let's say, a Sharpie or just an actual ink pen and everything like that kind of thing. Gel pens tend to be a little bit more of a faded look, I definitely have to say, and this definitely does have a decently faded look when compared. I don't know if you guys can really tell the difference on screen, but it definitely does have a little bit of a faded look, that is for sure. But that's pretty typical of gel pens in my personal opinion, unless you get a really, really, really massive size, especially when I'm doing it very fast like I was right there. Let's go ahead and just do a little drawing real quick. I think I'm gonna actually do one test though, real quick in the corner right here. I'm gonna very quickly, okay. Okay. I'm getting a little bit impressed right now. I am getting a little bit impressed right now. The actual, because this is one of my issues with the G2. I love the G2. The G2 is such a good pen, but it smears like hell. Literally, right after kind of thing. If this was the G2, it would have been all the way up and down. Nothing on my face. Like, there's a little bit, but I don't even know. Like, there's a little tiny smear right there. Little tiny smear right there. Not much at all. I am overall very, very, very impressed. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Very, very, very impressed. Certainly no complaints on my behalf, that is for sure. And I'm just gonna go with the lines I already made. And just go ahead and continue doing this drawing right here. Sorry, I'm just drawing real quick. Just doing some sloppy drawing and everything like that kind of thing. Just got to add one more detail. All right, overall. Yeah, overall, I mean, like, this pen, it's turned out pretty good kind of thing. I am overall pretty happy with this pen's drawing ability. I will admit, I apologize for the silence there just for a minute. But yeah, I definitely have to say, I'm pretty impressed with this pen's drawing ability. The whole sort of no smear technology and everything fucking works. It works kind of thing. I am very impressed right now, I ain't gonna lie. Ergonomics-wise, this is a pretty comfortable pen to hold. The cushion is definitely not super cushiony, but ergonomics-wise, it's pretty easy to hold, and I totally get why they made it lightweight and everything like that kind of thing. It is very lightweight in your hand. My issue with that is I like having weight in my pens, but that's just a personal preference kind of thing. I realize everybody is different, so maybe if you really like pens, this might be a good pen for you. But overall, yeah, the whole sort of, I think really the biggest thing that I really like about this pen is not how it looks, it's not the packaging, it's that the damn ink don't smear. Frankly put kind of thing. The damn ink don't smear, which I love. I mean, like, I got a little bit of ink right here kind of thing. It smeared a little bit kind of thing. But I mean, like, when I'm drawing and everything like that kind of thing, I run my hand all over my drawings multiple times. This will completely eliminate that issue, which I really like. And man, hey, yo, Sky News, get the hell out of here. This is my territory. I'm the one filming here right now. Man, he's running. Y'all see that? He's running away. Sound's getting quieter. He knows this is my territory. He can't re-record in here. Cannot believe that. Gonna have to bring a bazooka next time he decides to invade my territory. That is for sure. That's a joke, by the way. I wouldn't shoot down a helicopter. That's a joke. But overall, yeah, I think probably the biggest thing I really like about this pen is definitely just the fact that I mean, like, just the simple fact that it doesn't smear. I do really like that. The whole no smear sort of thing is really nice, and it's something I really do appreciate. And overall, yeah, it draws pretty well kind of thing. It doesn't really fade out kind of thing. There are definitely some issues with some cheaper ballpoint pens and gel pens and everything like that, where you keep drawing and it just gets, oh no, and it's kind of what happened on the first page I was testing on and everything like that kind of thing, where it faded out. I know I covered it up a little bit, but it faded out right about here and everything like that kind of thing. And that was just a fluke. I haven't had that issue since then. So overall, certainly no complaints on my behalf. I definitely have to say as well, the amount of ink you get. Let's go ahead and get all this off once again. Let's go and get the lid off. The amount of ink you get is actually pretty good. It's actually really not a bad amount of ink at all kind of thing. Of course, I cannot say for certain how much ink you're going to be actually using and everything like that kind of thing, of course. But overall, I mean, like, the amount of ink you get, or what I meant to say is I don't know how fast the ink is actually going to go. Some pens use ink faster than others, that is for sure. But the amount of ink you actually get in this pen is a pretty good amount kind of thing. It definitely is a pretty good amount, and I definitely do think it would last you a pretty good amount of time. This is definitely something that if you're writing day in, day out kind of thing, I think this will probably last you a week, 2 weeks kind of thing. If you're only drawing / writing maybe once or twice a day, I definitely think this is probably a solid 3 to 6 month pen. And yeah, probably comparable, maybe not a comparable lifespan to a G2, probably a little bit shorter because G2s, they last fucking forever. But I definitely have to say, overall, not a pad pen. It's decently light, but it's a disposable pen kind of thing. I can say the same thing, but I keep saying I love the G2, but the G2 is pretty light as well if you're using the stock G2. But yeah, overall, very impressed. Not really with how it looks, not really with the actual pen itself, but just very impressed that it doesn't smear. And overall, actually, I'm going to be giving it a pretty good rating. What is the rating? I'm thinking 4, well, because I'm pretty sure that I pretty much said everything I want to say about the Sharpie S-Gel pen and everything like that kind of thing. Well, I was actually about to give it a rating, but actually I feel like I should probably give you guys my final thoughts first, since I've been talking about the actual like writing and everything like that first. So my overall thoughts on this pen right off the bat kind of thing. The packaging was pretty good, pretty eye-catching kind of thing. Certainly not beautiful, but very informative, that is for sure. And I definitely have to say the pen itself looks pretty nice. I do like the look of the pen, that is for sure. It says Sharpie right there, S-Gel right there, 0.7 right there, and everything like that kind of thing. It looks like a metal pen, but it is indeed plastic. It's not very high quality. I will admit, definitely the materials used were pretty cheap materials. Not a big fan of that. I do really like, though, that this takes some force to push down and everything like that kind of thing. That is very, very, very nice. And this certainly does not feel like the highest quality thing in the world. And one detail I did not notice is that actually right here, it actually says USA, which I find pretty amusing. Does it say on the back of the packaging if it was made in the USA? Assembled in USA. Okay, so it was indeed made in the USA. That's pretty cool. I forgot about that. But overall, yeah, this feels like a cheap pen kind of thing, but it looks like a fancy pen, that is for sure. So certainly no complaints on my behalf. Definitely not the best thing in the world. Definitely not to my preference, I will admit. But it's not terrible, I will admit as well. Definitely very, very, very light. If you like light pens, this is definitely for you. Not for me, though. I like my heavy pens. And I definitely have to say, writing-wise, fantastic. Great. It only had one fluke where it started fading out and everything like that kind of thing. But other than that, the lines were very, very, very bold. A little bit faded, as gel pens tend to be and everything like that kind of thing. But overall, when drawing, no issues with smearing. The only issue I had with smearing was like one tiny bit kind of thing. I really had no issues with smearing when I was using this pen and everything like that kind of thing, in all honesty. So certainly no complaints on my behalf. I am overall very, very, very impressed by the Sharpie S-Gel's writing and its ability to, well, make the ink not smear and everything like that kind of thing. I am very, very, very impressed by that, and I certainly do hope to see a G2 like this in the future, where it's going to have no smear technology, because then it really would be the perfect G2 in my personal opinion, at least, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah. I think those are pretty much my final thoughts on this pen. I'm not really feeling particularly... I'm not really feeling like it's going to get the best rating in the world, but it's definitely a unique pen. And really the main selling point for me is really that it doesn't smear. Would I buy this pen again? No, I don't think I would. I definitely don't think I'd buy this pen again. It's just, I don't really like it all that much kind of thing. I definitely do think it'll last a long time. I definitely do see why my mom likes it so much. As I said at the beginning of this video, this is my mom's personal favorite pen. Cheap pen, that is. And I definitely see why she likes it. It doesn't smear. It is really nice, I will admit, kind of thing. That is a really nice feature. I will definitely be using the rest of these pens, and I will definitely enjoy using the rest of these pens. But in all honesty, I'd much rather buy a Pilot G2 or a, what is it, a Pilot, I'm trying to think of what. There's another pen I really like as well. I can't remember the name right off the top of my head. The Pencil Inkjoy. Or I'd much rather buy one of those or something like that kind of thing. I'd much rather buy one of those. This is not really a unique look. It's super light. Not really heavy. In fact, it actually feels lighter than a lot of other disposable pens, I will admit, unless you're using like a Bic. Yeah, I mean, like, the whole ink thing is really cool, but I wouldn't buy this again. I'll enjoy using the rest of them, but I'm just definitely not the biggest fan. Definitely going to be some beater pens for me, that is for sure. And yeah, the overall rating I'm thinking for this pen, packaging is okay. The pen itself, I don't really like the look of. I don't really like how it feels. It's really light and everything like that kind of thing. Definitely not the highest quality pen in the world. And I do really like the feature where it doesn't smear, and that actually is true. It does not smear. I think overall it's going to be getting a solid 7 out of 10. I wouldn't buy it again, so it's going to be getting solid out of 10. If it's solid 10, not 7 out of 10. If I was going to buy it, if I was willing to buy it again, I'd probably get an 8 out of 10 or something like that kind of thing. I'm actually thinking 6.5 out of 10, in all honesty. I'm being pretty harsh today. I'm feeling like being pretty harsh, so yeah. 6.5 out of 10. No complaints on my behalf. The Sharpie S-Gel, though, certainly not the worst thing in the world. Just something I wouldn't buy again. But let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think of the Sharpie S-Gel? Do you guys like it? Do you guys not? Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, thank you very much for watching this review, guys. I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed watching my review of the Sharpie S-Gel pen. If you guys have enjoyed watching this video, of course, please make sure to like and subscribe for more content. I have my Instagram, my book, my merch, my P.O. box, and my main channel all in the description down below. Go check it all out. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, y'all. Until the next one, stay safe and peace and have a great one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying?